Chapter 2274. Lu Ming took out a piece of realm core, obliterated the power of law on it, and started refining, increasing his cultivation. One piece after another, the following 2 months plus, Lu Ming continuously refined realm cores just like that. Lu Ming cultivated wholeheartedly and was completely oblivious to the outside world's matters. While Lu Ming was cultivating, outside Two World City, there were countless foreign races rushing over. The foreign races attacked the city. Rumble. One giant battleship after another, all pitch black all over, like majestic mountain ranges, tore through the air and stirred up endless fierce winds. On each battleship, there were large numbers of foreign race powerhouses. Looking over, no idea how many foreign races there were, how many battleships. Two World City was naturally alarmed. Foreign races attacking the city. Roars spread throughout Two World City. In Two World City, countless figures rose to the air. Dazzling rainbow light interweaved in the air. Abnormally beautiful. Countless powerhouses appeared on Two World City's city walls. Activate the Grand Array. A voice spread throughout Two World City. This was absolutely a heavenly emperor powerhouse. Everywhere in Two World City, especially on the city walls, densely packed runes emerged. Endless runes interweaved to form one terrifying grand array after another. On Two World City, the atmosphere was stifling to the extreme. This was the foreign races attacking the city on a large scale. In the recent 100,000 years, the foreign races attacking cities on a large scale already became very few, because for so many years, they did not breach the Grand Pure Heaven domain. The foreign races' large-scale attacking operations became fewer and fewer. Many people guessed that the foreign races were definitely accumulating strength or had other plans. This time, the foreign races attacked the city on a large scale again. Could it be that the foreign races already lost their patience and wanted to breach Two World City with brute force? Rush over, smash through Two World City's city walls. A loud roar came from among the foreign races. Rumble. One incomparably huge battleship after another rushed towards Two World City. However, although those battleships were huge, compared to Two World City's city walls, they were still very lacking. Attack. When the foreign race's battleships flew in a certain distance, someone on Two World City's city walls gave the order. Bang! Bang! On the city walls, endless runes were incomparably dazzling, turning into one grand array after another, then turning into one attack after another, attacking towards the foreign race's battleships. There were swords as big as mountains, sabers that could break the sky, and so on. In addition, there were also huge crossbows on the city walls. Each of them was as big as a small hill with a length of several dozen meters. Each arrow could kill a peak true emperor. In addition, there were also primordial stone cannons. This kind of huge cannon was made by refining weapons. It was engraved with large formations and was powered by origin stones. As long as there were enough ores, it would be able to unleash a terrifying attack. Even an 18th level true emperor would die from this attack. Even a great emperor would not dare to disregard it. These were all weapons of war. Rumble. All kinds of attacks bombarded the outsider starships. Many energy shields lit up on the alien warships, blocking the attacks from Two World City. Endless attacks landed on the energy barrier, causing it to vibrate continuously. Counterattack. Some of the foreign races roared. On the battleships, all sorts of attacks were launched towards Two World City. However, they were all blocked by the light outside the city. Both sides attacked each other from afar. The entire sky was drowned in dazzling light. Boom. Suddenly, a sword light slashed out from Two World City. It was extremely dazzling among all the light. The sword light was filled with boundless heavenly might. A heavenly emperor had made his move. However, a huge axe came out from the alien warships and blocked the sword light. Next, a burly figure appeared in the sky, emitting an earth-shattering aura. Heavenly Emperor of Heaven, come out and fight me. The burly alien spoke, his thunderous voice resounding across the battlefield. You think I'm afraid of you? A dazzling sword light shot out from Two World City and attacked the alien warships. Boom. The two exchanged a move, then fought deep in the sky. These two people were undoubtedly both heavenly emperor realm figures. The attacks from both sides continued. Rumble. Finally, another alien warship's defenses were breached. Endless attacks landed on the warship, causing it to explode. All sorts of metal flew everywhere. On the battleship, countless non-humankind beings were flying around, but many of them were killed instantly by the attacks. Whoosh! An arrow that was dozens of meters long pierced through the void, piercing a peak true emperor and sending him flying 1,000 miles away. Boom! Another peak true emperor was hit by a pillar of light and exploded. However, there were a few figures that were abnormally strong. They weaved their way through and blocked most of the attacks. These were all emperors of the alien races. Go, go! The alien warships continued to charge towards Two World City. In the process of charging out, more battleships were destroyed, and more outsiders were killed. However, the alien warships were getting closer and closer to Two World City. In the end, after sacrificing a dozen warships and thousands of experts, they finally reached Two World City. Boom, boom, boom. The warships crashed into the light barrier outside Two World City. The light barrier shook violently, and a hole was torn in it. Charge! The alien warships roared and charged through the cracks. Kill! On the city wall of the Two World City, there were also many experts rushing towards the holes. They were fighting against the alien races around the holes. It was a brutal scene. At the same time, the formation on the walls was still operating, turning into waves of attacks that attacked the aliens. This was the advantage of the Heaven Realm. By relying on the Two World City, although they had far fewer experts than the mutated races, they could still stop the mutated races from invading. Kill, kill. The slaughter was exceptionally bitter. In this place, there was no mercy, only slaughter. This was a war between two worlds. It was a matter of life and death. Only by killing the enemy could one survive. Experts from both sides fell one after another, forever staying here. Relatively speaking, the Heaven Realm had the upper hand. This was because the experts of the Heaven Realm only needed to block the holes that were torn open. With the help of the formation, it was much easier for them. Although there were some who died in battle, the number of foreign races who were killed was twice as high. Boom, boom, boom. The void vibrated as a series of figures stepped out from the demonic race, emitting a terrifying aura. They were all heavenly emperors. There were more than a dozen of them. The aura of these heavenly emperors was too strong. Heaven and earth seemed to be groaning, unable to withstand the terrifying pressure. However, there were also heavenly emperors from Two World City that rushed out to stop the enemy. Fight! Chapter 2275. This battle lasted for 3 whole days. The alien race paid a terrible price, but they ultimately failed to break through Two World City. The war drums sounded, and the alien race began to retreat. Rumble. Warships retreated one after another. Outside Two World City, the hole that had been torn open began to heal. Clean up the battlefield, someone ordered. The Heaven Domain experts began to clean up the battlefield. They sorted out the alien race corpses and packed them away. Many people had heavy hearts. Although more alien races had died in this battle, the Heaven Domain had also paid a heavy price. A large number of experts had died in battle. This is the first time in 30,000 years that the alien race has launched such a large-scale attack. Someone sighed. Although the alien race had also launched a large-scale attack a few years ago, because of the spatial tunnel, the scale was not as large. After cleaning up, these resources would all be stored in the exchange hall by the higher-ups of Two World City as public resources. The city walls were still solemnly waiting to prevent the alien race from attacking the city again. Half a month passed in the blink of an eye. Rumble. In the distance, huge battleships were charging over again. The alien race had come to attack the city again. The battle broke out again after half a month. This battle was even more tragic than the previous one. Countless experts died in battle. Even great emperors died one after another, and some heavenly emperors were seriously injured. In the end, the alien race retreated when they saw that they could not break through. Why did the alien race launch such a large-scale attack? This is the first time in 100,000 years. Someone's expression was very grave. Many people guessed that the alien race had lost their patience and planned to forcefully break through Two World City at all costs. I heard that the alien race launched a large-scale attack on another battlefield more than 10 years ago. There has been endless killing over the years. Someone else spoke. The atmosphere became even more tense. Two World City was not the only battlefield in Taiching Heaven Domain. There was another battlefield. It was also a spatial tunnel, but it was not connected to Hunyuan Heaven Domain. Instead, it was connected to another heaven. Taiching Heaven Domain was connected to two other heavens, and they both had the same spatial tunnel. Naturally, these two spatial tunnels became battlefields. The other battlefield was not inferior to Two World Cities. There were also many experts guarding it, and there was endless killing all year round. The alien race had launched a large-scale attack on that battlefield more than 10 years ago, and the killing had been constant over the years. Just like that, the peaceful days passed for another half a month. Half a month later, the alien race launched another attack. But this time, the alien race stopped tens of thousands of miles away. What are they doing? Everyone on the Heaven Domain side. At this moment, a group of people flew out from the side of the foreign races. They flew towards Two World City and stopped 10,000 miles away. I heard that the Heaven Realm has produced many geniuses in recent years. Among the younger generation, countless experts have been born. Coincidentally, some geniuses have also been born in my world. Why don't we exchange pointers? A figure stepped out from the side of the outsiders, and his voice reverberated throughout the entire place. This outsider had a jade-like complexion. He had a head of violet hair and was incomparably handsome. He looked no different from a human, except for the eye between his eyebrows. This was a member of the royal family of the Outsiders, a terrifying celestial emperor. The Outsiders were going to send out geniuses to challenge Qin Wentian. Many people were astonished. How do you want to fight? A big shot from the Heaven Domain asked. Everyone looked over and saw that it was Heavenly Lord's 6 saints. You can leave now, said the royal of the alien race. Then, 5 figures walked out from the alien race. These were the 4 young men of the foreign race. Even though it was difficult to tell them apart based on their appearances, judging from their life auras, they were indeed from the younger generation. They were quite young. These are the 4 young geniuses of our domain. The Heaven Domain can also send 4 geniuses to fight, said the royal of the alien race. What is this alien race doing? It's very simple. The alien race wants to use this move to attack the morale of the Heaven Domain. If their geniuses can crush our geniuses, many of us will feel despair and see no hope. On the contrary, the alien race's morale will increase greatly. Many people discussed. Many people realized that it was indeed so. This time, the Heaven Domain and the primordial realm could be said to have reached a golden age. Countless geniuses were born. Many people saw this group of geniuses as the hope of the Heaven Domain. They even used large amounts of resources to groom them. They could enter and leave as they pleased. They hoped that this group of geniuses would grow up and turn the situation around in the future. However, what if the geniuses of the alien race defeated the geniuses of the Heaven Domain? In that case, it would prove that even if the geniuses of the Heaven Domain grew up, they would still be no match for the alien race. How despairing would that be? It would be strange if their morale was not low. However, they had to fight this battle. If they did not fight, it would also affect their morale. This was the alien race's scheme. Many people looked at the alien race's geniuses. One of them was burly and covered in purple scales. When he opened his 3 eyes, they shone brightly. Another one was less than a meter tall and had 4 arms. The third one was the strangest. His body was about the same height as a human, and there were no scales on his body. However, he was like a shadow. His body was constantly twisting, and there was a third eye between his eyebrows. The fourth one made many people's eyes narrow. It was a purple-haired young man. He was unbelievably handsome. His 3 eyes were slightly squinted, and there was a faint smile on his face. He was a royal of the alien race. Who should we send out? Someone asked. The 4 of them must be the top geniuses. We only have the 9 extinctions to win. There are some 9 extinctions in the Two World City, but they seem to be in seclusion. Send someone to find them. Voices were heard. Then, Some heavenly emperors entered the sacred cultivation grounds of the two-world city to look for the 9 extinctions. As for the outsiders, they waited patiently outside the city walls. Not long after, a few figures flew towards the city walls from the two-world city. Found them. Many people's eyes lit up. There were 4 young men behind the heavenly emperor. Coincidentally, 4 of the 9 extinctions are in the two-world city. The heavenly emperor smiled. The others smiled as well. The 9 extinctions were the 9 strongest geniuses of the younger generation in the heaven domain. They had reached the true emperor realm long ago, and each of them was a heaven-defying genius. With the 9 extinctions, they would definitely win. Are they the ones? One of the 9 extinctions said arrogantly, and he was full of confidence. If Lu Ming was here, he would have recognized him immediately. It was Xin Wulin, who was defeated by him and almost left the 9 extinctions. During this period, Xin Wulin had been in seclusion in the two-world city, and his combat strength had increased tremendously. Haha, I have been in seclusion for a long time, and I want to stretch my body. Chapter 2276. Xin Wulin and the others were very confident. They stood at the peak of the younger generation in the heaven field, and their talents were unparalleled. They believed that as long as they grew stronger, they would be able to reverse the situation in the heaven field and defeat the non-humans. They might even be able to lead the army of the heaven field to the evil god world. They didn't put the non-human prodigies in their eyes. I'll go with you, Heavenly Sovereign 6 Sacred said as he stepped out, followed by a few other heavenly emperors. Xin Wulin and the other 3 prodigies also stepped out and stopped not too far away from the non-humans. You're finally here. I thought you guys wouldn't dare to fight. One of the non-humans said lightly. The heaven field isn't afraid of anyone in the younger generation, Heavenly Sovereign 6 Sacred said coldly. If that's the case, then let's begin. You can choose any of the 4 prodigies you want. The heavenly emperor of the non-humans said. Xin Wulin and the others were also sizing up the 4 non-human prodigies. When they saw the outsider royal, serious looks appeared in their eyes. Everyone knew that the non-human royal was extremely rare, but each one of them had terrifying battle power and limitless potential. They didn't care about the other non-human prodigies, but they had to take the non-human royal seriously. I'll go first, Xin Wulin said as he stepped out. His eyes scanned the 4 non-human prodigies and finally landed on the burly non-human. The burly non-human race was the most common race among the non-humans. The people of the heaven field knew this race the best. Xin Wulin naturally chose the one he was most confident in. You, fight me. Xin Wulin pointed at the burly non-human. You're choosing me? The burly non-human opened his 3 eyes and emitted a cold, murderous intent. Being the first to be chosen, he felt that he had been underestimated. Brat, it's your bad luck to choose me first. Brat, remember, the one who defeated you is called Waymo. The burly non-human stepped out and emitted a powerful aura. A true emperor. There was no doubt that Waymo had reached the true emperor realm. There are strong and weak true emperors as well. Die. Xin Wulin made his move. With a push of his hands, 2 stars appeared and shot towards Waymo. Petty tricks. Dandan opened his mouth and 2 beams of destructive light shot out from his 3rd eye. Bang! Bang! The 2 stars that Xin Wulin shot out were easily defeated. Xin Wulin's face darkened slightly. He quickly formed a seal with his hands, and 1 star after another appeared around him. There were a total of 360 stars. Stellar Cycle Fist. Xin Wulin did not hold back at all. He directly used his strongest killer move and raised his combat strength to the maximum. Whoosh! 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 Stars streaked across the sky, carrying long tails as they hurtled towards Waymo. Xin Wulin's combat strength has increased by a lot? That's right. A few years ago, when he fought against Lu Ming in Alcade Ancient City, his battle prowess was only equivalent to a 3rd-order true emperor. Now, he's already a 5th-order true emperor. On the Heaven Realm side, many people were overjoyed. Thinking about it, the Black Tortoise Forest had suffered a great loss in the battle with Lu Ming. In the past few years, they had worked hard and improved at an astonishing rate. They believed that this battle was in the bag. But in the next moment, the faces of the Heaven Realm's people changed drastically. Weimar roared as his body emitted a crystalline purple light. A battle axe appeared in his hand, and his burly body charged towards Xian Wulin like a wild beast. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At the same time, Weimar held the battle axe with both hands and continuously slashed at the stars. Bang, bang. Those stars were like bubbles that were easily split apart by Weimar. Weimar took large strides forward, and the battle axe continued to slash out. Stars formed one after another and were destroyed. Xian Wulin's face changed. He roared and pushed his palms forward. In an instant, a total of 200 stars flew towards Weimar. Break! Weimar shouted coldly and slashed out several hundred times. The sky was filled with axe shadows. Those stars exploded one after another. Kill! In the end, Weimar roared and slashed out a shocking axe light. A giant battle axe that was 10,000 meters tall suddenly slashed towards Xian Wulin. Xian Wulin's pupils contracted rapidly. He erupted with all his strength and merged all the stars into one, forming a giant star that flew towards his opponent. But when the giant battle axe slashed down, the star exploded like a sun in the sky. Xian Wulin screamed miserably as his body flew far away. He flew for more than 10,000 meters before crashing to the ground and vomiting blood. Defeated. Xian Wulin was defeated. The faces of the Heaven Realm's experts were ugly. Xian Wulin, one of the 9 absolutes, was defeated without causing much trouble for his opponent. This Weima's battle strength is at least at the 6th order true Emperor realm. Someone said solemnly. Many people sucked in a breath of cold air. The foreign races also had such terrifying geniuses? How could this be? The Heaven Realm and the primordial world had only produced a large number of geniuses during the Golden Age. But how could the foreign races have such powerful geniuses? It must be a special case. The foreign races can't have many of such geniuses. Impossible. Someone growled, finding it hard to accept. This is the Heaven Realm's genius? He can't even withstand a single blow. Weimar said coldly. He looked at Xian Wulin with disdain and walked back with his battle axe. Heavenly Sovereign's 6 saints and the other heavenly emperors had ugly expressions. Xian Wulin's defeat would more or less affect the Heaven Realm's morale. You must win the second round. Heavenly Sovereign's 6 saints transmitted his voice to the remaining 3 geniuses. I'll go for this round. The bald youth stepped forward. This person's combat power was very strong. Back then, in the Alcade ancient city, he had also made a move to deal with Lu Ming. However, he was stopped by Dandan and displayed shocking combat power. He was much stronger than the Xian Wulin back then. The bald youth's gaze swept across the remaining 3 geniuses and finally landed on the skinny foreign race with 4 arms. You, come out and fight with me, the bald youth said. Then I'll fulfill your wish. The skinny foreign race smiled faintly. He took a step forward and appeared in front of the bald youth. His speed was shocking. Whoosh. Following that, the skinny youth made his move. His body flashed and disappeared. In the next moment, 4 incomparably sharp rays of light appeared around the bald youth and slashed towards him. So fast, many people were shocked. The skinny foreign race's speed was too shocking. His body flashed so fast that it was impossible to catch him. Mad Demon Fist. The bald youth roared as he punched out with both fists. Terrifying fist energy swept out in all directions like a mad demon. Clang, clang. The sound of metal vibrating echoed in all directions. Chapter 2277. The speed of the bald youth's fist technique was also astonishingly fast. He was actually able to block his opponent's attack. The 2 of them exchanged over 100 blows in an instant, and it was difficult to determine the victor. Interesting. You can actually keep up with my speed. But let me tell you, I'm only using half of my speed. The skinny foreign being sneered. Suddenly, his speed increased greatly once again. The speed of his 4 sharp weapons also increased greatly, becoming twice as fast as before. The bald youth was shocked. He roared angrily and pushed his fist technique to the extreme. But he was still no match for his opponent. Poof! A wound appeared on the bald youth's body. His body was almost cut in half, and blood flowed profusely. The bald youth frantically retreated, wanting to avoid his opponent's attack. But his opponent did not stop attacking. There was no way he could avoid it. Poof! The bald youth was hit again. His body was cut again. This time, one of his arms was cut off. He spat out large mouthfuls of blood, and a look of despair appeared on his face. Die! The skinny foreign being's eyes were ferocious as he charged toward the bald youth. I admit defeat. I admit defeat. At the critical moment, the bald youth roared. Die! The skinny foreign being did not stop and continued to charge toward the bald youth. Enough! A heavenly emperor beside heavenly sovereign's 6 saints acted. A force enveloped the bald youth and swept him to his side. Haha, you need a heavenly emperor to act. What a piece of trash. The skinny foreign being sneered. He looked at the bald youth with disdain, then stepped back. The bald youth's face was extremely ugly. He spat out a few mouthfuls of blood, then sat down cross-legged to heal his injuries. Heavenly Sovereign's 6 saints and the other heavenly emperors also had ugly expressions. Just now, when the heavenly emperor had acted to save the bald youth, the opposing heavenly emperor did not stop him. Perhaps it was intentional. The bald youth had suffered a crushing defeat, and the heavenly emperor had been forced to act. Countless people from both sides had seen all of this. This was a huge blow to the heaven domain. Their top prodigies had been defeated and needed a heavenly emperor to save them. How ironic was that? How could this be? Some people from the heaven domain were filled with despair. Their overall strength could not compare to the foreign races. Even the prodigies of this generation could not compare to the foreign races. What hope did the heaven domain have? It was only a matter of time before they were defeated and destroyed. At this point, there were still 2 outsider chosen who had yet to make a move. The shadowy outsider stepped forward and said in a cold, piercing voice, "Which of you wants to fight me?" On the heaven realm side, there were still 2 young geniuses. One of them was a beautiful woman, and the other was a young man in a blue robe with a graceful bearing. I'll handle him. As for the outsider royal, I'll have to rely on you. I'm definitely not a match for him. At that moment, the beautiful woman said to the blue-clothed youth. The 9 absolutes of the heaven realm also had their differences. The blue-robed young man was one of the strongest among the 9 absolutes and was ranked in the top 3. All right, no matter what, we cannot lose the next 2 matches. The blue-clothed young man said. The beautiful woman nodded and floated out. Without saying anything, she engaged in a great battle with the shadow-like evil god race being. Both of them should be at the 7th order true emperor realm. Their battle prowess was on par with each other. However, the other party's body was extremely bizarre. Not only was it as elusive as a shadow, it was even capable of launching soul attacks. After exchanging dozens of blows, the beautiful woman was at a disadvantage. How could this be? The people from the heaven realm exclaimed in disbelief. How could the outsider race have so many powerful geniuses? They were even more terrifying than the people from the heaven realm. No, I can't lose. Ruthlessness flashed in the beautiful woman's eyes. Suddenly, she stopped defending and allowed the other party's sword to pierce her body. Taking advantage of this opportunity, she attacked with all her might. This was a battle that would cause both sides to suffer, but it was also effective. Obviously, the other party didn't expect the beautiful woman to be so ruthless. Boom, boom. Both of them retreated. The beautiful woman coughed out large mouthfuls of blood. Her body was almost torn apart by the sword chi. However, the other party didn't have it easy either. He was hit by the beautiful woman's all-out attack and was also heavily injured. Both sides suffered. On the heaven realm side, after the beautiful woman's desperate attack, the battle finally ended in a draw. But on the heaven realm side, no one was happy. There was only despair. The evil god world had also given birth to such powerful geniuses. What hope did the heaven realm have? It seems like you came prepared today. The 4 of them should be the strongest geniuses in your world. One of the heaven realm's heavenly emperors said. Many people's eyes lit up. It was possible that the foreign races had come prepared. It was possible that they had brought the strongest geniuses of the foreign races. That was why they were so powerful. As for the heaven realm, Not all of the 9 jades had arrived. There were still some geniuses who were still growing. If that was the case, then there was hope. You don't have to deceive yourselves. To tell you the truth, the 3 people who fought just now can't even enter the top 10 of my world. One of the foreign race's heavenly emperors sneered. Can't even enter the top 10? Impossible. Absolutely impossible. It's fake. It must be an alarmist talk to scare us. We don't believe it. The Heaven Realm's people were in an uproar. No one believed it. The 3 people who fought just now were already unbelievably powerful. The 9 jades of the Heaven Realm were not their opponents. With such combat strength and cultivation, they couldn't even enter the top 10 of the foreign races. This was too despairing. They naturally didn't believe it. It's really sad. No wonder you all lost. I swear in the name of the heavenly emperors that all of this is the truth. The foreign race's heavenly emperor said indifferently. The Heaven Realm's people were in despair. Was what the foreign race said true? This person is a prince of my world. He has amazing talent and is ranked 9th among the younger generation of my world. Following that, the foreign race's heavenly emperor pointed at the foreign race's royal youth. The foreign race's royal youth stepped out and his gaze fell on the blue-robed youth. Remember, my name is Luo. I will crush you. Fight. The blue-robed youth stepped out and launched an attack towards the foreign race's prince, Luo. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The blue divine light transformed into a series of astonishing attacks. As soon as he attacked, the blue-robed young man displayed a terrifying combat strength. Combat strength of an 8th-order true emperor. The Heaven Realm's people's eyes lit up as they saw hope. The blue-robed youth's combat strength had already reached the 8th-order true emperor realm. To be able to reach this level at such a young age, he was definitely strong. You have some strength, but it's not enough, Luo said indifferently. A destructive light shot out from his eyes and turned into dozens of sword lights that slashed towards the blue-robed youth. The sword lights whistled and broke the blue-robed youth's attack, causing him to retreat quickly. What? So strong. Many people were shocked. How was it possible that the blue-robed youth was forced to retreat in one move? Kill! Luo shouted. The sword lights whistled and slashed towards the blue-robed youth. The blue-robed youth roared and soared into the sky. He used a terrifying super skill to break the sword lights and charged towards Luo. I'll defeat you. Chapter 2278. Luo was extremely powerful and brave. With a single palm strike, he pierced through the void and destroyed all of the blue-robed youth's attacks. The blue-robed youth's expression changed drastically. He wanted to retreat, but it was too late. Bang! The terrifying palm strike landed on the blue-robed youth's chest. The blue-robed youth screamed as his chest was pierced through. His body flew tens of thousands of meters away as he coughed out large mouthfuls of blood. He was severely injured. No, this is impossible. Someone from the heavenly world shouted in disbelief. The blue-robed youth was ranked in the top 3 of the 9 absolutes. His combat strength was at the 8th-order true emperor realm. However, he was severely injured in just a few moves against the foreign prince. The gap was too big. More importantly, was Luo only ranked 9th among the foreign race's younger generation as the heavenly emperor had said? If that was the case, there was no hope for the heavenly world. When this generation of geniuses grew up, the heavenly world would not be filled with hope, but despair. Many people shouted, unwilling to accept all of this. After waiting for countless years and fighting for countless years, the golden age of geniuses had finally arrived. This generation was destined to rise up and give birth to peak experts. Everyone was looking forward to the rise of this generation. Then, they would kill their way back and take back the 9 heavens domain. However, this was the outcome they had been waiting for. Many people's faces turned pale. At this moment, their morale was gone. What was the use of fighting and risking their lives? Not good. Heavenly Sovereign's 6 saints sighed in his heart. He knew that this was a huge blow to everyone. The situation was not good for the heavenly world. Ha ha ha, the golden age of the heavenly world is nothing more than this. You can't even withstand a single blow. Do you have any more geniuses? Come out and fight. One of the foreign race's geniuses laughed, full of disdain and mockery. Today, they had achieved their goal. The morale of the geniuses was low. After some time, it would definitely collapse. There are many geniuses from the heavenly world who are not in Two-World City. Otherwise, they would not be weaker than you. Heavenly Sovereign's 6 saints said. At this time, they could not afford to be weak. Is that so? Then I will give you time to send people to find geniuses. I'm afraid that the ones you find will not be able to withstand a single blow. The foreign race's Heavenly Sovereign's 6 saints laughed. Go and find the top 2 of the 9 jades. This time, we must not weaken our morale. Heavenly Venerate's 6 saints transmitted his voice to a heavenly emperor. I'm just afraid that they have even stronger geniuses. The heavenly emperor sighed. I don't care about that anymore. Now, I can only fight. Heavenly Sovereign 6 saints said. That heaven emperor nodded. His figure flashed and left the place. The outsiders stood quietly on the battlefield, waiting. Their expressions were calm and composed. At this moment, Lu Ming ended his cultivation. Insufficient energy, can't break through. Lu Ming sighed. Although he had refined a lot of world cores, his cultivation had only reached the peak of 7-star Void Emperor. It was impossible for him to break through to the true Emperor realm unless he had a large number of Chaos Stones or Primordial Stones. Forget it. I'll go back to the true Emperor battlefield. With my current cultivation, I'm invincible in the outer regions. I'll hunt for alien cores and exchange them for Chaos Stones. After making up his mind, Lu Ming exited the mountain river diagram and flew out of the Two-World City. As he neared the city walls, Lu Ming felt that something was amiss. The atmosphere in the Two-World City was extremely heavy and oppressive. There's a big battle. Without thinking, Lu Ming could guess that there must have been a big battle. When he arrived at the city walls, he saw that many people's eyes were filled with helplessness and despair. It was as if they had lost all hope. After asking around, Lu Ming understood what was going on. Are they alien race geniuses? There are alien race princes as well. Oh, there are Chaos Stones. Lu Ming muttered to himself. Then, his eyes lit up. Lu Ming looked around and saw Heavenly Emperor Hongyu and the others on the city walls. Lu Ming quickly walked towards Heavenly Emperor Hongyu. Lu Ming. Sensing Lu Ming's presence, Heavenly the Arch-Hongyu revealed a smile. Senior Hongyu, please let me out. Lu Ming said. You want to go out? Heavenly Emperor Hongyu revealed a surprised look. Yes, I want to meet the alien race's geniuses. Lu Ming nodded. This, Heavenly Emperor Hongyu, and the other Heavenly Emperors looked at Lu Ming with some hesitation. Although Lu Ming's talent was unprecedented, he had just become an emperor not long ago. A few years ago in Alcade Ancient City, Lu Ming's combat strength was not weak and could defeat Xian Wulin at that time. But now, Xian Wulin's combat strength had improved greatly, but he was still not a match for the alien race's geniuses. Even if Lu Ming improved faster and was stronger than Xian Wulin, it was impossible for him to be a match for the alien race's prince. All right, but Heavenly Emperor Hongyu only thought for a moment and nodded in agreement. Lu Ming had already made history by becoming an emperor with many types of laws. No one had ever done so before. No matter how fast Lu Ming improved, it was not surprising. Their eyes shone with hope, hoping that Lu Ming could defeat the alien race's geniuses and restore the Heaven Court's morale. Immediately, Heavenly Emperor Hongyu ordered to open the array and let Lu Ming out. Lu Ming's figure flashed and flew out of Two-World City. Instantly, he attracted everyone's attention. That's Lu Ming. It's him. It's Lu Ming. Why did he go out? Is he going to fight the alien race's geniuses? Before Lu Ming became an emperor, he had already mastered many types of laws, and even the 3 strongest types of laws. Once he became an emperor, he rushed to become a 4-star Void Emperor and suppress Xian Wulin. Now that a few years have passed, Lu Ming must be stronger. He might even be able to fight the alien race's geniuses. Many people revealed hopeful looks. I don't think so. No matter how strong he is, he can't be a match for the alien race's prince. Someone poured cold water on them. It was an expert from the Lan family. Why do you have to praise others and destroy our own morale? We'll know after the battle. Heavenly Emperor Hong Yu glanced at the Lan family's expert and said coldly. The Lan family's expert's face changed, and he didn't dare to say anything. Lu Ming was extremely fast. Like a bolt of lightning, he arrived beside Heavenly Sovereign Six Sacred and the others. Lu Ming, Heavenly Sovereign Six Sacred, and the others looked at Lu Ming and nodded. Senior, let me fight. Lu Ming said, You want to fight? What a joke. Don't you see how strong the other party is? If you fight, you will only cause us to lose another battle and destroy our morale even more. Xian Wulin said first. Do you think others are the same as you? Lu Ming glanced at Xian Wulin in disdain. You. Xian Wulin's face flushed red, but he was indeed defeated and couldn't refute. Lu Ming, fight with all your might. Heavenly Sovereign Six Sacred said. Lu Ming nodded and stepped forward. As he walked in front, the aura of a 7-star Void Emperor erupted. 7-star Void Emperor? Impossible. How did he improve so quickly? Chapter 2279. Xian Wulin roared in his heart. He was shocked by Lu Ming's cultivation. The others weren't any better. Their mouths were agape as they sucked in a breath of cold air. A 7-star Void Emperor wasn't much. However, this 7-star Void Emperor had only become an emperor 2 years ago. That was terrifying. The other members of the Nine Extinction sect, such as the bald young man, the blue-robed young man, and the beautiful woman, all looked at Lu Ming in shock. Great! Heavenly Sovereign Six Saints and the other heavenly emperors were overjoyed. With Lu Ming's talent, if he continued to grow, he would definitely become a peak expert. The people from the heavenly world were shocked. However, the people from the foreign races were stunned and looked down on Huang Xiaolong. They didn't know that Lu Ming had only become an emperor 2 years ago. Is there really no one else in the heavenly world? You actually sent an Void Emperor to his death? One of the heavenly emperors from the foreign races mocked. So what if he's an Void Emperor? He's strong enough to defeat your so-called prodigies. Lu Ming spoke with disdain and provocation. Arrogant. Leave this brat to me. Among the 4 prodigies from the foreign races, a burly prodigy covered in purple scales stepped out. A giant axe appeared in his hand, and his eyes were filled with malevolence. This person was called Wei Mo. He had easily defeated Xian Wulin in the previous battle. No one from the foreign races stopped him. In their opinion, Wei Mo alone was enough to deal with a mere Void Emperor. Bang! Bang! There was purple light all over Wei Mo's body. He was 4 meters tall, more than twice as tall as Lu Ming. Every time he took a step on the ground, there would be a booming sound. It was as though a huge beast was walking. Brat, I'll chop you in half with my axe. Wei Mo snarled, and his 3 eyes emitted a sinister light. Lu Ming raised his middle finger, revealing a look of disdain. You're courting death. Wei Mo stomped on the ground, and the ground cracked. His burly figure charged towards Lu Ming. While he was in midair, he swung his axe at Lu Ming. A terrifying axe light split the void in half. A 6th-order true emperor is too weak, Lu Ming muttered. His figure soared into the sky, charging towards the other party. When he met the opponent's axe light that was chopping down, Lu Ming immediately struck out with his palm. In this move, Lu Ming used the indestructible golden body. His entire body was like a peerless divine weapon. At the same time, the power of law covered his palm. Boom! The axe radiance was like tofu, unable to withstand a single blow. Lu Ming's figure didn't stop as he charged towards Wei Mo. Vimo was shocked. He didn't expect that the attack he had unleashed with all his might wouldn't even be able to withstand a single blow from Lu Ming. This was completely beyond his expectations. In his opinion, a mere Void Emperor could not be that strong. He would definitely be chopped to death by his axe. By then, it was already too late for him to dodge. Lu Ming had already arrived. Bang! Lu Ming's palm landed on Wei Mo's face. Wei Mo let out a miserable shriek as half of his face exploded. His body slammed heavily into the ground, creating a huge pit. He laid there, twitching nonstop. He was already half dead. The entire place fell into silence. Everyone couldn't help but widen their eyes in shock. The powerful Weima, who had easily defeated the Black Tortoise Forest, was actually unable to withstand a single blow from Lu Ming. In just one move, he was suppressed by Lu Ming and was heavily injured. The impact was too strong. Good hit. Cheers erupted from the heavenly world side. The two-world city was in an uproar. Many people were yelling in excitement. It was too satisfying, too satisfying. Just now, the heavenly world's geniuses were suppressed by their opponents. Now that Lu Ming had made his move, he defeated one of their opponents with a single slap. This scene was as good as drinking a cup of cold beer on a hot summer day. Initially, many people were in despair. But now, they couldn't help but feel hopeful. There were even stronger geniuses in the heavenly world. Although the geniuses of the foreign races were strong, it wasn't like they couldn't be defeated. Of course, there were a few people who weren't happy. For example, Black Tortoise Forest, Lan Cheng, and those who had a grudge against Lu Ming. Damn it! When did he become so strong? Damn it! Black Tortoise Forest roared in his heart. He couldn't accept it. Previously, he was easily defeated by Weima. But now, Weima couldn't even withstand a single blow from Lu Ming. Didn't this mean that he was too weak? His face was extremely gloomy. Humph. Lan Cheng snorted coldly. His face didn't look too good either. Similarly, the experts of the foreign races had ugly looks on their faces too. Their geniuses of the foreign races were actually defeated by Lu Ming in such a domineering manner. It was a slap to the face. It wasn't good for their plan either. This is your geniuses? Too weak. Change to another one. Lu Ming said casually as he looked at the remaining 3 geniuses of the foreign races. Other than the prince of the foreign races, Tianluo, the other 2 had grave looks on their faces. Even if the 2 of them were stronger than Weima, they wouldn't be much stronger. They definitely wouldn't be able to crush Weima as easily as Lu Ming. Even if they went up, they definitely wouldn't be Lu Ming's match. A 7-star Void Emperor with such fighting strength. Interesting. Let me take you on. Tianluo stepped out. His purple hair fluttered in the wind, and he looked extremely handsome. In addition, he had a third eye in the middle of his brows that was filled with an evil aura. If he were to enter the human race, he would probably charm thousands of girls. Lu Ming revealed a smile. His target was Tianluo. Make your move. Stop wasting time. Lu Ming said casually. He had an expression as though he didn't care about Tianluo at all. Tianluo's eyes flashed with a tinge of gloominess. His purple hair fluttered in the wind as his entire body emitted purple aura. Swoosh! A dazzling radiance shot out from his eyes and turned into a huge battle sword. It slashed towards Lu Ming with shocking power. Lu Ming squinted his eyes and circulated his power of the world to the maximum. At the same time, a long spear that contained 8 types of laws appeared in his hand. Facing Tianluo, Lu Ming might look casual, but he didn't dare to be careless. Tianluo's fighting strength had already reached the level of a rank 9 true emperor. His current fighting strength was also at the same level as Tianluo. Clang! Lu Ming's long spear expanded and clashed with Tianluo's battle sword. There was a loud clang and the force was rampant. Tianluo's battle sword was destroyed by Lu Ming. At the same time, Lu Ming's figure also retreated a few steps. He blocked it. So strong. The eyes of the people from the heaven world lit up. Lu Ming had blocked Tianluo's attack. This meant that he had the strength to fight. At this moment, although many people were shocked by Lu Ming's fighting strength, they still hoped that Lu Ming could fight with Tianluo and even defeat him. Kill. Seeing that Lu Ming had blocked his attack, Tianluo roared. His third eye continued to shoot out radiance that turned into dozens of battle swords and slashed towards Lu Ming. At the same time, his figure flashed as he charged towards Lu Ming. Chapter 2280. Lu Ming and Tianluo exchanged a blow and retreated. What a strong power! Lu Ming felt his arm going numb. It seemed like he was still at a disadvantage in terms of power after using 8 types of laws. 9 types of laws then. Lu Ming added the life law into the long spear. Buzz. The long spear buzzed and its power increased tremendously. It turned into a sky-piercing spear radiance and pressed down on Imo Tianluo. Kill! Imo Tianluo's palms were sparkling like purple jade as he charged towards Lu Ming. He continuously blasted out and clashed with Lu Ming's spear radiance, causing terrifying explosions. The two of them continuously clashed, and in the blink of an eye, they had exchanged dozens of blows, and it was hard to determine the victor. After Lu Ming used 9 types of laws, his combat strength was equivalent to a 9th-level true emperor. He was on par with Imo Tianluo and wasn't any weaker. So strong. Lu Ming is so strong. He can definitely fight with Imo Tianluo. Haha, that's right. Who said that the geniuses of the heaven realm are inferior to the foreign races? They just didn't come out previously. Lu Ming created miracles and became an emperor with many types of laws. He will definitely become an unparalleled expert in the future. He is the hope of the heaven realm. Many people were discussing. When these words entered Lan Qing's ears, his face turned gloomy. His eyes flashed with cold light, and no one knew what he was thinking. The battle was still ongoing. Lu Ming and Imo Tianluo fought in the sky and exchanged hundreds of blows. Lose-lose. At this point, Imo Tianluo started to get impatient. The main thing was that Lu Ming's cultivation was too low. He was only an empty emperor, and he couldn't even take down an empty emperor. If news of this battle were to spread to the evil god world, he would definitely be suppressed and mocked by the other princes. His attacks became even more violent. It's about time. The corner of Lu Ming's mouth curled into a cold smile. His spear aura suddenly changed and turned into a spinning force. He charged towards Imo Tianluo and completely abandoned his defense. Courting death, Imo Tianluo's eyes lit up as he blasted a palm on Lu Ming. However, he was also swept by Lu Ming's long spear. The two of them were sent flying at the same time, coughing up large mouthfuls of blood. They were seriously injured. However, Lu Ming had the indestructible ancient scripture. He circulated the indestructible ancient scripture, and his injuries quickly healed. Whoosh! Lu Ming charged towards his opponent again. The two of them fought fiercely. Lu Ming didn't care about defense at all, only attacking. He was completely in the position of exchanging injury for injury. The two of them were continuously struck by each other. However, Lu Ming's injuries were quickly recovering while Imo Tianluo's injuries were getting worse and worse. His aura was getting weaker and weaker, and his battle strength was quickly weakening. In the end, he wasn't a match for Lu Ming at all, and was being crushed by Lu Ming. Boom! Lu Ming's spear struck Imo Tianluo's body and blasted him into the ground. The ground crumbled, and Imo Tianluo's hair was disheveled. He vomited large mouthfuls of blood, and his aura presence was extremely weak. However, Lu Ming didn't stop as he continued to charge at Imo Tianluo. Senior, help me keep an eye on the enemy's celestial emperor. At the same time, Lu Ming sent a voice transmission to Heavenly Venerate 6 Saints. Imo Tianluo roared as he rushed out of the ground, trying to escape. However, Lu Ming caught up with him in an instant and struck him with his spear again. Imo Tianluo's body flew out like a cannonball in the direction of Two World City. Enough! A foreign race heavenly emperor roared as he stretched out a huge hand, trying to grab Imo Tianluo. However, Heavenly Venerate 6 Saints waved his hand and destroyed the other party's huge hand. What are you trying to do? Do you want to start a war? The foreign race Heavenly Emperor roared as he attacked at the same time. However, Heavenly Venerate 6 Saints was stronger and blocked the other party. Meanwhile, Lu Ming had already caught up with Imo Tianluo. At that moment, Imo Tianluo didn't have any strength to fight back. Lu Ming stepped on his body, causing his bones to break inch by inch and his injuries to worsen. Following which, Lu Ming grabbed Imo Tianluo's neck and rushed towards Two World City. Let go of my race's prince. The foreign race heavenly emperors were enraged and attacked at the same time. However, Heavenly Venerate 6 Saints and the other heavenly emperors from the heaven domain also attacked and blocked the other party's attacks. Then, they swept up the blue-robed youth and the others and rushed towards Two World City. After catching up with Lu Ming, Heavenly Venerate 6 Saints swept up Lu Ming and flew towards Two World City. Behind them, the foreign race heavenly emperors were furious as they chased after them. However, Heavenly Emperor Hong Yu and the others on top of Two World City attacked and blocked the foreign race Heavenly Emperors. With this block, Heavenly venerates 6 saints and the others had already returned to Two World City and landed on top of the city walls. They won. Lu Ming won. At this moment, the gazes of everyone in heaven landed on Lu Ming, exuding a glow of surprise. Their eyes were filled with hope once again. It wasn't that the heaven domain's geniuses were inferior, but that the stronger ones hadn't attacked yet. Didn't they see how Lu Ming defeated his opponent the moment he attacked? Moreover, Lu Ming was only an empty the arch. If an empty the arch was so strong, then how shocking would he be in the future? They saw hope once again. In the future, the heaven domain might have a chance to fight with the foreign races, or even counterattack. Hand over my race's prince. Otherwise, I won't leave even a chicken or dog alive. Several foreign race heavenly emperors stopped outside Two World City and roared in anger. I'm so scared. Come and attack. You're talking as if you won't attack if I hand him over. Lu Ming laughed coldly as he held onto Emo Tianluo's neck and stood on top of the city walls. Kid, you will die very miserably. I swear. Emo Tianluo roared in anger. Bam! Lu Ming lifted Emo Tianluo and smashed him heavily onto the city walls. The city walls of Two World City were refined with special materials and inscribed with countless inscriptions. How hard was it? Emo Tianluo was smashed until he was dizzy. God knows how many bones in his body were broken. Especially his face, it was already beyond recognition. There was no longer the handsome appearance from before. If you talk any more nonsense, I'll directly pickle you. Lu Ming said coldly. Emo Tianluo shut his mouth. At this moment, the foreign race heavenly emperors were furious. They couldn't wait to chop Lu Ming into 8 pieces. It could be said that they hated Lu Ming to the core. This time, their plan was to use the younger generation to attack the heaven domain's morale. Originally, their plan had been completed perfectly. The morale of the heaven domain's people was many times lower. Unfortunately, at the crucial moment, a Lu Ming appeared and completely ruined their plan. He defeated their geniuses consecutively and restored the heaven domain's morale. Even the foreign race's prince had fallen into Lu Ming's hands. The foreign race's prince not only had a noble status, but his talent was also peerless. In the future, he would definitely become an unparalleled expert. Nothing must happen to him. What do you want? Only then will you let my race's prince go? One of the foreign race heavenly emperors spoke. Originally, I wanted to kill him directly. However, seeing that your attitude is sincere, I can let him go. How about this? Take out 1,000 chaos stones and I'll let him go. Lu Ming demanded an exorbitant price. What? 1,000 chaos stones? That's impossible. Your appetite is too big. One of the foreign race heavenly emperors roared in anger. 1,000 chaos stones? What a joke. Do you think chaos stones are cabbages? A few pieces are already very precious, let alone 1,000. If you can't take it out, then collect his corpse. Lu Ming said with a cold face. 1,000 chaos stones is too much. It's impossible. Chapter 2281. All right, then I'll take a step back. 100 chaos stones, no less. Lu Ming pretended to consider for a while and opened his mouth to say, directly dropping from 1,000 to 100. Actually, he was indeed demanding an exorbitant price previously. He was also clear that 1,000 was simply impossible. It was just a bargain. 100 is still too much, lower it a little. A foreign race heavenly emperor still wanted to bargain. Bang! Lu Ming lifted Emo Tianluo and smashed him on the city wall again, making Emo Tianluo cry out miserably. All right, 100 it is. We'll go and gather. The foreign race was helpless in the end. Then, a foreign race heavenly emperor returned to the foreign race army to gather chaos stones. I object to using the foreign race prince to exchange for chaos stones. Right at this time, a person stepped out from the heaven realm side and spoke coldly. Lu Ming looked over. It was Lan Cheng. Lan Cheng looked around and said to the heaven realm's people, this foreign race prince's talent is too high. If we let him go back, when he grows up in the future, he will be a great enemy to us. Such a good opportunity, We must kill him." These words made many people's eyes twinkle. Yes, this foreign race prince's talent was astonishing. Even the top 3 prodigies of the 9 absolutes were not his match. Placed on the heaven realm side, he could be said to be a prodigy at the top of the pyramid. Such a character, when he grew up in the future, how terrifying would he be? Many people were persuaded by Lan Cheng. Lan Cheng sneered. Lu Ming wanted to use Emotion Luo to exchange for resources. How could it be so easy? He wanted to stop it. Moreover, killing Emotion Luo, the foreign race would definitely bear a grudge against Lu Ming. To him, there were only benefits and no harm. Bullshit. Emotion Luo is Lu Ming's captive. How to deal with him? He has the final say. Others have no right to interfere. Heavenly Emperor Hong Yu walked over and directly cursed. How could he not see through Lan Cheng's thoughts? Truly despicable and shameless. Hong Yu, you can't say it like that. Ordinary captives can naturally be dealt with as you wish. But this foreign race prince's talent is too high. It concerns the safety of the heaven realm. We can't deal with him willfully. Lan Cheng quibbled, not letting go of the heaven realm's safety. Her. At this moment, Lu Ming sneered, full of mockery. Lan Cheng looked at Lu Ming, and a cold light flashed in his eyes. Lu Ming, what are you laughing at? I'm laughing at you for being a coward. Lu Ming said. You. How dare you? Lan Cheng was furious. Lu Ming actually dared to say such things to him in front of so many people. How preposterous. I finally understand why the heaven realm lost. It's because there are too many people like you. They don't have any confidence at all. Without confidence, without the belief that they will win, how can they win? If I can defeat this outsider prince today, I'll be able to crush him in the future. Not to mention one outsider prince, even if there were 10 of them. So what? In the future, I can suppress them with a flip of my hand. Since I dared to let him go, I will deal with him myself in the future. Therefore, there is no need for you to worry about him. Lu Ming spoke with great confidence. Haha, that's right. In your eyes, this outsider prince may be a great enemy in the future, but in Lu Ming's eyes, he's just a jumping clown. What are you afraid of? Hong Yu laughed. Who can say for sure what will happen in the future? Lan Cheng said with a gloomy face. Since you can't say for sure, why are you still talking nonsense? Maybe I'll kill him tomorrow. Lu Ming sneered, then turned around and ignored Lan Cheng. Gotcha. Lan Cheng clenched his fists, and his eyes were filled with cold killing intent, but he concealed it very well. He was the heavenly emperor, and Lu Ming dared to talk to him like that. He was simply courting death. Of course, he didn't think about why Lu Ming had such an attitude. Because of Lan Yun, Lu Ming had been targeted by Lan Cheng in all aspects in the Yaoguang ancient city. A dignified heavenly emperor was targeting Lu Ming, a junior, everywhere. Lu Ming couldn't take it anymore and decided not to be nice to Lan Cheng. At this time, the outsider heavenly emperor who had gone to gather chaos stones had returned. Here are the chaos stones. Release my prince. The heavenly emperor said, Senior 6 Sacred, I'll have to trouble you. Lu Ming handed the demon Skynet to Heavenly Sovereign 6 Sacred. Only Heavenly Sovereign 6 Sacred could make the exchange. If he went, he would definitely be slapped to death. Heavenly Sovereign 6 Sacred nodded, took the demon Skynet, and flew out of Two World City. The outsider had no choice but to obediently hand the Chaos Stones to Heavenly Sovereign 6 Sacred in exchange for the demon Skynet. Heavenly Sovereign 6 Sacred returned and handed a storage bracelet to Lu Ming. Lu Ming took a look and saw that there were exactly 100 Chaos Stones in the storage bracelet. Lu Ming was overjoyed. 100 Chaos Gems. This was a huge sum of wealth. He'd fought for more than 2 years in the True Emperor battlefield and had only managed to get 3 Chaos Stones in exchange for alien cores. Now, he had suddenly obtained 100 Chaos Stones. With these Chaos Stones, his cultivation level would definitely break through to the True Emperor realm. Many people looked at Lu Ming with burning eyes. There was envy, jealousy, and so on. Take Xian Wulin, for example. He had been beaten up by the other party when he fought. However, Lu Ming had won 100 Chaos Stones. The difference was too great. Lan Cheng and the others had gloomy expressions. The more resources Lu Ming had, the faster he would grow. Kid, we have more prodigies here. Let's continue the battle. At this time, a heavenly emperor of a foreign race roared as he stared at Lu Ming. Now that this had happened, the morale of the celestial field had not decreased. Instead, it had increased greatly. The foreign races were the ones with the lowest morale. They were unwilling to accept this and called for even stronger prodigies to fight with Lu Ming to break the morale of the celestial field. I'm not free. Lu Ming's reply was only 2 words. Then, he waved his hand and flew back to his residence. With the chaos stones in hand, Lu Ming was rushing back to break through. He was not in the mood to fight. Damn it, what other prodigies do the celestial field have? Call them out and fight with our prodigies. The foreign race heavenly emperor roared. I'm not free. This was the answer of heavenly venerate 6 saints. He was not that stupid. Lu Ming had just won a big victory and restored the morale of the celestial field. Why would he be so stupid as to call for a fight? What if he was beaten up and their morale was low? Anyway, they had won a big victory and should stop while they were ahead. The foreign race heavenly emperor was so angry that he wanted to vomit blood. He had sent out prodigies to challenge outside Two World City, but the celestial field ignored them. In the end, the foreign race had no choice but to retreat. Their plan this time was completely ruined because of Lu Ming. After Lu Ming returned to his residence, he directly entered the mountain river diagram and took out a pile of origin stones. He devoured the energy of the origin stones and recovered to his peak state. Then, he took out a chaos stone. He wanted to use the chaos stone to break through to the true emperor realm. Breaking through to the true emperor realm required a lot of energy, but 100 chaos stones were definitely more than enough. After taking a deep breath, 3 streams of chaos chi flew out of the chaos stone and were sucked into Lu Ming's mouth. Chapter 2282. Once a void emperor broke through to the true emperor realm, the small world would become more stable. Living beings could enter and cultivate in the small world. Naturally, the amount of energy required was shocking. Now, Lu Ming's speed of refining the chaotic aura was much faster than before. He could refine 1 chaos stone in 3 days, which was 3 wisps of chaotic aura. After refining one, Lu Ming took out another. A month passed quickly. Lu Ming had refined 10 chaos stones, but he still hadn't broken through. Lu Ming continued refining. In the blink of an eye, 3 months passed. The speed at which Lu Ming refined the chaos gems was getting faster and faster. In 3 months, he had refined over 30 chaos stones. Boom, boom. At this time, Lu Ming's accumulation had reached the peak. His small world rumbled and expanded continuously. In the end, Lu Ming's small world reached a radius of 10,000 li. This area was about the same as the mountain river diagram. Evolve. Lu Ming's thoughts moved. Mountains, rivers, and lakes appeared in his small world. However, there were no living beings. In order to evolve living beings, one had to reach the Emperor realm and control the Grand Tao. Wang. At this time, a layer of light spread out from Lu Ming's body. This was the World God Light. The World God Light meant that the small world had completely stabilized, and he had stepped into the true Emperor realm. True Emperor realm. I finally broke through. Lu Ming was overjoyed. He felt that his World God Light was 5 to 6 times stronger than before. After refining over 30 chaos stones, Lu Ming finally broke through to the true Emperor realm. He was now a 1-star true Emperor. My battle strength should be at the 10th order true Emperor realm. Lu Ming estimated his battle strength. Before his breakthrough, his battle strength was at the 9th order true Emperor realm. However, the increase in battle strength was in many aspects. The most important thing was the laws. However, after breaking through from the Void Emperor realm to the True Emperor realm, his World God Light had increased by 5 to 6 times. Therefore, his battle strength had risen to the 10th order True Emperor realm. Normally, it would be difficult for one's combat strength to increase by so much after breaking through a minor level. True Emperors have a total of 18 levels of power. Only peak 7-star cultivators with 9 laws at the 3rd level and powerful abilities are considered the 18th level. However, I don't even need to reach this step to have the combat strength of rank 18. Lu Ming smiled. He was different from the others. His physical strength far exceeded that of ordinary people. Moreover, he had mastered 3 supreme laws, while the rest were all monarch laws. If his cultivation reached the peak of 7 stars and his 9 laws reached the 3rd level, his battle prowess would naturally surpass an 18th level true emperor. I still have over 60 chaos gems, but I've just made a breakthrough in my cultivation. I need to consolidate it first before making a breakthrough. Right now, I should focus on cultivating the laws. Lu Ming planned the direction of his future cultivation. When laws reached the 2nd realm, there were also differences in strength. Many of his laws had just broken through to the 2nd realm not long ago and had yet to reach the peak of the 2nd realm. There was still room for improvement. Moreover, there were no bottlenecks. Using the enlightenment ancient tree to comprehend was the best choice. Lu Ming left the mountain river diagram and headed straight for the mature enlightenment ancient tree in Two World City. In the following days, Lu Ming comprehended the laws under the enlightenment ancient tree. Two World City also calmed down. After several strong attacks, the foreign races did not succeed. Instead, they suffered heavy losses. The plan to attack the Heaven Realm's morale did not succeed. During this period of time, they quieted down and did not continue to attack. However, everyone knew that the foreign races would not give up. This was just the calm before the storm. Time flew. In the blink of an eye, another year had passed. In this year, Lu Ming had been comprehending the laws under the mature enlightenment ancient tree. His 9 types of laws advanced by leaps and bounds, progressing rapidly. After breaking through to the 2nd realm, there were no bottlenecks. All the laws were quickly moving towards the peak of the 2nd realm. In a year, at least 6 or 7 laws had reached the peak of the 2nd realm. This allowed Lu Ming's cultivation to increase by another level. Lu Ming estimated that he was now at the 11th level of a true emperor. However, many of his laws had reached a bottleneck. If he wanted to go further, he would reach the 3rd realm. It would be very difficult to break through this through hard work. Lu Ming decided to continue to the true emperor battlefield. Only by killing the foreign races would he be able to break through faster. However, before leaving, Lu Ming returned to his residence and refined another 20 chaos stones. Lu Ming's cultivation reached the 2-star true emperor realm. His cultivation level had broken through 1 level, but his combat strength was still at level 11 true emperor. However, he had reached the peak of level 11 true emperor. With everything ready, Lu Ming quietly left Two World City and headed towards the true emperor battlefield without letting anyone know. Not long after, Lu Ming returned to the true emperor battlefield. The illusory emperor battlefield, true emperor battlefield, and grand emperor battlefield were specially created. If the foreign races wanted to attack Two World City, they wouldn't pass through these battlefields. With my current battle prowess, the periphery of the battlefield is no longer a challenge. Only the core of the battlefield will be challenging. Lu Ming pondered. The experts in the core were all at the 10th level and above. It was the perfect place for Lu Ming to train himself. Lu Ming flew towards the core of the battlefield. If he flew like this, he would definitely be targeted by the foreign tribes. Along the way, he was ambushed by 2 waves of foreign tribe experts. However, the strongest of these experts only had the combat strength of a 9th level true emperor. They were easily killed by Lu Ming, and he obtained many crystal cores. When Lu Ming stepped into the core area of the battlefield, he slowed down and retracted his aura, moving forward cautiously. Whoosh! Clang! Not long after, a dazzling red light appeared in front of him. At the same time, the sound of weapons colliding could be heard. Clearly, someone was fighting. Lu Ming used his divine breath art and carefully approached the battlefield. Whoosh! Whoosh! Suddenly, there were 2 beams of rainbow lights in front of him. One after another, they flew toward Lu Ming at high speed. In front of them was a green sword light. The person controlling the sword light was an elder in a green robe. Behind him was a middle-aged man in crimson robes. He had a crimson saber in his hand as he chased after the old man. It was clear that both of them were from the celestial world. Save me! The old man in green robes saw Lu Ming and screamed. However, the middle-aged man in crimson robes suddenly increased his speed and slashed out with his saber. The old man in green robes roared and tried his best to block, but it was useless. The crimson saber broke through his defenses and cut him in half. Whoosh! The middle-aged man in crimson robes rushed over and took the old man's storage ring. He also dug out the old man's world core. Another one so young. You have guts to come to the core of the battlefield at such a young age. Unfortunately for you, you ran into me, Crimson Blade. Consider yourself unlucky. The middle-aged man in crimson robes licked his lips. Chapter 2283. Bloody Swordsman. Lu Ming had heard Bai Tai mention this name before. There was a rule in Two World City that no one from heaven was allowed to kill each other after entering the battlefield. Those who violated this rule would be severely punished. However, there were still those who took the risk to kill Heaven World's creatures for a huge profit. These people usually disguised themselves. They had one identity on the battlefield and another when they returned to Two Realm City. Of course, there was a great risk in doing so. Death was the only way out if they were recognized. Bloody Bladesman was such a person. His battle prowess was rumored to be at the 14th level of a true emperor. Just now, he was hunting the experts of the Heaven Realm and happened to bump into Lu Ming. Now, his target was Lu Ming. However, Lu Ming didn't retreat. His eyes were filled with eagerness. His battle prowess was at the peak of the 11th level. He was only one step away from the 12th level. With the indestructible ancient scripture, even a 12th level true emperor would be killed by him. Thus, he wanted to see just how strong a 14th level true emperor was. Even if he couldn't win, Lu Ming still had the fallen star bow and heaven emperor physique. Bloody Swordsman was slightly surprised. He did not expect Lu Ming to not run away after hearing his name. If he didn't run, then he would die. The Bloody Swordsman's figure flashed, and he dashed toward Lu Ming like a beam of bloody light. Buzz! In Lu Ming's palm, the magical power, Infinite Dragon Spear appeared. Die! Lu Ming unleashed all his power and stabbed towards Bloody Bladesman. The spear whistled and tore through the void. This was Lu Ming's first time going all out after becoming a true emperor. 11th level battle prowess at such a young age. A 2-star true emperor. He's a peerless genius. Bloody Bladesman was shocked at first, but it was soon replaced by greed. Being at the 11th level of a true emperor at such a young age was terrifying. In his knowledge, only 1 or 2 youths in the entire heaven world had reached this level. Could it be that this youth in front of him was one of the top 2 ranked 9 absolutes? No matter what, this kind of genius was shockingly wealthy. The Blood Bladesman's eyes burned with passion as he slashed his blade at Lu Ming. The blood-colored blade light struck Lu Ming's spearlight. Lu Ming's spearlight vibrated violently. The wireless dragon spear, which was formed from 9 types of nomological laws, vibrated continuously, as if it was about to be torn apart by the opponent's strength. At the same time, a terrifying saber chi rushed towards Lu Ming. Bang! Lu Ming's body was sent flying. His body was covered with saber wounds and blood flowed out. Lu Ming spat out a large mouthful of blood. He had been heavily injured in one move. The difference between an 11th Order True Emperor and a 14th Order True Emperor was too big. An ordinary 11th Order True Emperor would have died from this move. However, Lu Ming had the indestructible ancient scripture and indestructible golden body. His defense and recovery were terrifying. At this moment, Lu Ming's injuries were recovering rapidly. The saber wound was healing rapidly. He's not dead. The Blood Bladesman was shocked. An 11th Order True Emperor was still alive after taking one of his moves. This was beyond his imagination. Wait. The Bloody Bladesman's eyes widened in astonishment. He recalled the move he had just exchanged with Lu Ming. He felt that Lu Ming's abilities contained 9 types of laws. 3 of them were supreme laws. To think that a single person could control 3 supreme laws. He had stayed in the True Emperor battlefield for dozens of years and had never heard of Lu Ming's name. Naturally, he was shocked. However, after the initial shock, a blazing flame appeared. Brat, hand over your cultivation method. The Blood Bladesman's eyes were filled with greed as he charged at Lu Ming. He thought that Lu Ming had relied on an ancient scripture to cultivate 3 supreme laws. If he could obtain it, wouldn't he be able to dominate the world? He had to obtain it. Die! Lu Ming's injuries were mostly healed now. He held his spear and charged at the blood bladesman. Boom! The two of them exchanged another blow. Lu Ming retreated madly and was seriously injured again. However, Lu Ming's eyes were exceptionally bright. This was a true battle of life and death. He could feel the aura of death in each move against the blood bladesman. However, this allowed him to condense his mind to the extreme. His potential was also stimulated to the extreme. He could feel that his usage of laws was constantly deepening. What kind of monster is this? His recovery ability is so frightening. Even the law of life can't have such an effect. I'll cripple this brat and search his soul. The blood bladesman roared in his heart. He didn't give Lu Ming a chance to recover and charged at Lu Ming again. Whoosh! Lu Ming stabbed out with his spear. This spear had reached the peak of its power. Clang! The spear clashed with the blood bladesman's blade, but the result was still Lu Ming being pushed back. His body was covered in blade wounds. The blood bladesman continued to attack Lu Ming. Before Lu Ming could recover, he was sent flying again. This time, his injuries were even more severe. Brat, no matter how strong your recovery ability is, you're still going to die, the blood bladesman said savagely. It's about time, Lu Ming muttered. If the battle continued, he would be at a disadvantage. Even with the indestructible ancient scripture, he would still be killed. Retreat for now. Buzz. A pair of transparent wings suddenly appeared behind Lu Ming's back. With a flap, Lu Ming's figure quickly retreated and then turned around to leave. Stay. The blood bladesman was unwilling to give up. He chased after Lu Ming crazily. However, the six-feathered godly wings was Danden's most prized ability. Once it was used, its speed was astonishing. Even if Lu Ming's cultivation was relatively low, his speed was still faster than the blood bladesman's. Lu Ming quickly left. The distance between him and the blood bladesman was getting farther and farther. Damn it! After chasing for a while, the blood bladesman saw that he couldn't catch up. He roared and stopped. In the end, the blood bladesman could only helplessly turn around and leave. Not far away, Lu Ming also stopped. The injuries on his body were quickly recovering. At this time, he had already recovered 30%. This speed was shocking. No wonder the indestructible ancient scripture was called one of the strongest scriptures in the heaven world. It was not without reason. Its life-saving ability was too strong. This blood bladesman is a rare training target. I can't let him go like this, Lu Ming thought. Then, he restrained his aura and used the six-feathered godly wings. He quietly followed the blood bladesman along the ground. Lu Ming was very careful. He used the objects on the ground as cover and completely restrained his aura. Plus, the blood bladesman didn't expect Lu Ming to be so bold as to follow him. Therefore, he didn't notice Lu Ming at all. After a while, the blood bladesman came to a hidden cave and walked in. Lu Ming found a place nearby and hid himself. He circulated his energy to heal his injuries. Chapter 2284. My laws have improved again. This blood bladesman is actually proficient in the death laws, array laws, and devour laws. Lu Ming's eyes shone brightly. The blood bladesman was definitely a very suitable training target. Among the rules that he mastered, 3 of them were the same as Lu Ming's. Although the battle with the blood bladesman was short, it had greatly affected Lu Ming, especially since the blood bladesman had 3 of the same laws as Lu Ming. After exchanging blows with the blood bladesman, Lu Ming's comprehension of the 3 laws became even faster. Lu Ming would not let the blood bladesman off so easily. Lu Ming stayed there, comprehending the laws and digesting what he had gained from the previous battle. 2 days later, Lu Ming ended his cultivation. Let's continue the battle, Lu Ming muttered and charged towards the cave where the blood bladesman resided. Whoosh! From far away, a spear appeared in Lu Ming's hand and he thrust it out. A huge spear light as large as a mountain pierced towards the cave. That cave directly exploded into pieces. Who? A furious roar sounded as the blood bladesman soared into the sky. Boundless blood light burst forth and shattered the mountain. Then, he saw Lu Ming. Brat, I didn't look for you, but you actually came to me. You're courting death. Die. The Blood Bladesman roared and charged towards Lu Ming. Boom, boom, boom. The two exchanged a few blows. Just like before, Lu Ming was not a match for the Blood Bladesman. He was completely suppressed and heavily injured. The third level of the death loss. So that's how it is. Ha ha ha. Lu Ming laughed in his heart. During the battle with the Blood Bladesman, Lu Ming had gained some inspiration from his opponent's death loss. He felt that there was hope for a breakthrough. Blood Bladesman, I won't fight today. Let's fight another day. Lu Ming laughed and used the 6 feathered divine wings to fly into the distance. The Blood Bladesman roared and chased, but after chasing for a while, he could only helplessly stop. This brat's ability to protect himself is too strong, and his speed is too fast. Unless I severely injure him to the point where he can't fight back, it will be very difficult to kill him. Blood Blade Wielder gritted his teeth and left in a flash. This time, Bloody Bladesman kept changing his position because he was afraid that Lu Ming would secretly follow him. He had guessed correctly. Lu Ming had indeed followed them, and Bloody Daggerhand had not noticed at all. Bloody Swordsman was very familiar with the core of the battlefield. After running for a while, he looked around but didn't see Lu Ming, so he hid in a secret place. Lu Ming began cultivating not far away. He left a thread of consciousness to observe Blood Blade Hand's movements. The majority of his consciousness was used to comprehend laws. His comprehension of the law of death continued to deepen. Finally, a few days later, the law of death made a breakthrough. It broke through the limit and stepped into the third level of the law of death. This was the apex of the laws, the limit of the laws. With this breakthrough, Lu Ming's battle prowess soared. This was the strongest law. The increase in combat strength was especially shocking. Lu Ming's combat strength had reached the peak of a level 12 true emperor. His combat strength had increased by 1 level. Good. Lu Ming smiled. Just as he was about to continue fighting with Blood Blade Hand, he saw a figure flash out. It was Blood Blade Hand. Blood Blade Hand looked around for a bit before leaving in a certain direction. Lu Ming secretly followed him. Not long after, Lu Ming saw Blood Blade Hand hiding on top of a mountain. Then, he saw a figure flying over from the distance. It was a creature from Celestial World. This guy wanted to kill another creature from Celestial World. Whoosh! The Blood Blade Hand made his move. A blade light burst out and slashed at the creature. The creature from Celestial World was shocked and turned into a tiger. It roared and spat out a beam of light from its mouth. However, this tiger only had the battle prowess of a 12th level true emperor. It was no match for Blood Blade Hand. The saber ray slammed into the tiger's body and sent it flying. It was covered in wounds and could no longer fight. Blood Blade Hand. The tiger roared, full of despair. Die! Blood Blade Hand snarled. Blood Blade Hand, your opponent is me. At this time, Lu Ming also rushed out and stabbed with his spear. A terrifying spear ray shot towards Blood Blade Hand. Blood Blade Hand couldn't kill the tiger in time and could only turn around to slash at Lu Ming. Boom! The spear ray was dispersed and Lu Ming's attack was blocked. The spear vibrated continuously. Brat, it's you again. Your battle prowess. Blood Blade Hand was shocked. He found that Lu Ming's battle prowess had increased by a lot. Blood Blade Hand, our battle isn't over yet. Let's continue. Lu Ming dashed forward and fought with the bloody swordsman. Senior, leave quickly. Lu Ming transmitted his voice to the tiger at the same time. Young friend, thank you. The ferocious tiger thanked Lu Ming and then turned to leave. In the blink of an eye, Lu Ming and Blood Blade Hand had exchanged more than 10 moves. Lu Ming was still no match for Blood Blade Hand, but he was much better than before. Lu Ming was completely at a disadvantage and was injured, but it wasn't serious. He could barely resist. Lu Ming did his best to fight with Blood Blade Hand. Boom, boom. The two exchanged more than 20 moves, and Lu Ming finally retreated with serious injuries. Let's go. Lu Ming used his 6 feathered divine wings and turned around. His speed was faster than before and Blood Blade Hand couldn't catch up. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Blood Blade Hand was furious and roared again and again. He was so angry that he wanted to vomit blood. He knew that he was targeted by Lu Ming and couldn't get rid of him. If he had known earlier, he wouldn't have attacked Lu Ming. He regretted it. Next, no matter what Bloodblade Hand thought of, he couldn't get rid of Lu Ming. Every once in a while, Lu Ming would look for him and have a big fight with him. However, he did not dare to leave the battlefield and return to the Two-World City. This was because Lu Ming had been keeping an eye on him. He was afraid that when he returned to the Two-World City, Lu Ming would report him and he would die without a burial ground. Just like that, half a year passed. In this half a year, Lu Ming and Bloodblade Hand fought more than 10 times. Lu Ming's improvement was astonishing. Bloody Swordsman was really the best demonic refined stone. Its combat ability was slightly higher than Lu Ming's, but not by much. Every time, Lu Ming could go all out in the battle. In this half a year, Lu Ming's law of Devour and Array Dao broke through to the 3rd level. The 2 Monarch Dao laws made Lu Ming's battle strength soar to the 13th level of a true emperor. It's time to end him. At this time, Lu Ming decided to deal with Bloodblade Hand. Boom! Lu Ming caught up with the Bloody Swordsman and launched an attack. Brat, let's die together. Bloodblade Hand was about to go crazy and attacked Lu Ming crazily. But now, Lu Ming's battle strength was only 1 level lower than Bloodblade Hand. He didn't fear him at all. Lu Ming used a method where both sides would suffer. In the end, he dealt a heavy blow to the Bloody Swordsman while his own injuries recovered rapidly. I'll send you on your way. Chapter 2285. In the end, Lu Ming's spear pierced through his head and extinguished his soul. Since you accompanied me for half a year, I won't take your world core. After taking away the storage ring of the Bloody Bladesman, he struck his palm and blasted a big hole in the ground, burying the corpse of the Bloody Bladesman in the hole. This could be considered as repaying his kindness of being a sparring partner for half a year and allowing Lu Ming's combat ability to rise by 2 levels. Lu Ming's figure flashed, and he left the place. Soon after, Lu Ming came to a secret place. He took out the storage ring of Bloody Bladesman and checked it. This guy has a lot of resources. Lu Ming discovered that there were at least 100 alien race crystal cores in the storage ring. They were all true Emperor-level alien race crystal cores. There were also dozens of world cores. Let's cultivate for a while. Lu Ming planned to increase his cultivation. 3 of his 9 laws were at the 3rd level while the other 6 were at the peak of the 2nd level. It was time to increase his cultivation. However, Lu Ming didn't take out the Chaos Stones to cultivate. Instead, he took out the World Core and refined it. After erasing the laws on the World Core, Lu Ming began to refine it. Just as Lu Ming was refining the heart of the world and improving his cultivation level, in Two-World City, Lan Sheng and the experts of the Lan clan were having a discussion. Lu Ming entered the true emperor battlefield again. Are you sure? Lan Sheng asked an old man from the Lan clan. I'm sure. Moreover, Lu Ming has been fighting with Bloodbladesman recently. The old man said, Bloodbladesman? What's his strength? Lan Sheng asked. I heard that he has the strength of a 14th level true emperor. The old man said, What? A 14th level true emperor? Lu Ming can fight a 14th level true emperor? His improvement is too fast. It must be the indestructible ancient scripture. Lan Sheng was shocked. Greed flashed in his eyes. Pass down my order. If any experts of the Lan clan see Lu Ming in the true emperor battlefield, kill him and take the indestructible ancient scripture from his soul. Lan Sheng said with a dark expression. Heaven Emperor, if news of this gets out, we'll be targeted by other experts. The old man from the Lan clan said, Then don't let anyone know. Do it secretly. Also, contact the Yin clan. We'll work together. Lan Sheng ordered. Lu Ming refined dozens of world cores one after another. Lu Ming's minor world expanded once again. Rumble. Lu Ming's small world became bigger and bigger. In the end, it expanded to a radius of 300,000 miles before it stopped. When he had just broken through, the size of his little world was 100,000 miles wide. With each subsequent breakthrough, the size of his little world would increase by another 100,000 miles. When Lu Ming was a 2-star true emperor, his minor world had a radius of 200,000 miles. Now that Lu Ming had refined a large number of world cores, His minor world had expanded to a radius of 300,000 miles. Lu Ming's battle prowess had also improved, barely reaching the strength of a 14th level true emperor. He barely had the strength of a 14th order true emperor, which was considered weak among the 14th order true emperors. Lu Ming didn't stop there. He took out a chaos stone and continued to absorb chaos energy. After refining 5 chaos stones in a row, Lu Ming's cultivation reached peak 3-star true emperor. At this stage, Lu Ming continued to refine a few chaos gems before stopping. He wanted to break through to 4-star true emperor in one go, but he found that it wasn't feasible. 4-star true emperor was a high-level true emperor. He needed time to consolidate his foundation, or he wouldn't be able to break through this barrier. Right now, my battle prowess has reached 14th level true emperor. With the fallen star bow, I should be able to protect myself in the core area. I'll go out and hunt some foreign races. Lu Ming pondered. Only through fighting and killing could one improve very quickly. If Lu Ming didn't fight here and instead cultivated in Two World City, he wouldn't have improved so much even if he stayed under the Tao Comprehension Tree every day. Lu Ming left this place and began to wander around the core area of the True Emperor realm, looking for the alien race. At this time, a piece of news spread across the battlefield. The entrance to a minor world had appeared somewhere in the battlefield. It was speculated that this minor world had been floating in the void for a long time. It coincidentally connected with this area and the entrance appeared. A minor world that could float in the void for so long was at least a peak Grand Emperor's minor world, or even a heavenly emperor's. Otherwise, it would have collapsed after so many years. Only a small world condensed by an extremely powerful existence could float in the eternal void for so many years and still exist. If it was a small world left behind by a heavenly emperor realm powerhouse, it was very likely to be priceless, having supreme treasures. Everyone in the battlefield was startled by this news and began searching for the entrance. Even the true emperors on the periphery of the battlefield were looking for companions to try their luck. Bai Tai also contacted a few powerful true emperors and headed towards the core area. The Lan family, the Yin family, and the other major forces also sent many powerful forces to search for the entrance to the small world. In the middle of a mountain range, there was a huge expanse of land. The entrance to the small world was in this area. But now, a large number of outsider experts were hiding in the vicinity of the plate. Let's use this chance to kill the celestial world's experts. A foreign race expert said coldly. They found the minor world's entrance earlier but didn't go in to investigate. Instead, they waited for the celestial world's experts to come and kill them one by one. The battlefield was filled with murderous intent and undercurrents. Lu Ming didn't know any of this. He hid his aura and wandered around the core area. After several days of searching, he didn't see a single foreign expert. However, he did see a few celestial world experts. They were all in a hurry, seemingly looking for something. One day, Lu Ming arrived at a mountain range. At this point, Lu Ming stopped in his tracks. This was because he sensed a mysterious fluctuation in the space ahead. This fluctuation is similar to the spatial fluctuation of a minor world's entrance. Is there an entrance to a minor world here? Let's go take a look. Lu Ming was bold enough to fly towards the mountain range. He had the fallen star bow and a celestial emperor's body. Lu Ming flew into the mountains. Naturally, he was discovered by the foreign tribes lying in ambush here. It's a human from celestial world. Why is there only one? Only one? Fine. Let's kill him first to avoid alerting the enemy. They immediately sent out an expert to kill Lu Ming. Lu Ming was flying when all of a sudden, a beam of light dashed toward him at high speed. A black axe gleam was charging toward Lu Ming. It's a foreign, level 12. Chapter 2286. It was a burly being from the evil god tribe. He had 3 eyes and they were filled with killing intent. Die. Lu Ming formed a spear in his hand and thrust it forward. The spear light shattered the enemy's axe light and pierced through the enemy's forehead. Instant kill. Following that, Lin Fan used his power of the realm to retrieve the enemy's storage bracelet and dug out the enemy's crystal core. Damn it. This person has the combat strength of a 14th level true emperor. One of the foreign races who was lying in ambush roared. Initially, they thought that Lu Ming's combat strength wouldn't be that high since he was so young. They thought that a 12th level true emperor would be able to deal with him easily. However, they didn't expect that Lu Ming would be able to deal with him so easily. Send more people to kill this person. Hurry up, don't let the others from the heaven world find out. One of the foreign races ordered. All of a sudden, some members of the alien race charged toward Lu Ming. This time, there were 6 of them. There's more. Lu Ming squinted his eyes. The 6 of them unleashed their terrifying auras and charged towards Lu Ming. 6 rays of destruction shot towards Lu Ming from a distance. Whoosh! Whoosh! Lu Ming brandished his long spear and shot out beams of spear gleams toward the light of destruction of the alien race. Boom! 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 After a series of collisions, Lu Ming's body shook violently and he was forced to retreat. 2 15th level true emperors and 4 14th level true emperors. Lu Ming's heart stirred as he judged the other party's ability. This lineup was more than enough to deal with a 14th level true emperor. However, their opponent was Lu Ming. Although Lu Ming was injured, his injuries were recovering rapidly. It was not a big deal. Die! The 6 of them charged towards Lu Ming. They attacked Lu Ming with all sorts of attacks. Come on! Lu Ming's eyes were filled with battle intent as he charged towards them with his spear. Both sides kept clashing and fighting fiercely. Although Lu Ming was at a disadvantage, it was impossible for the outsiders to kill him immediately. After more than 10 moves, Lu Ming risked being injured and killed a 14th level true emperor with a single strike of his spear. Damn it! How can the humans of the heaven realm be so strong? Their vitality is unbelievably tenacious. Some of the outsiders who were lying in ambush let out enraged howls, and more outsiders charged out. This time, more than 10 foreign races joined the fray. The strongest among them was a 16th order true emperor. So many? Could it be that this is the home of the non-humans? Lu Ming's gaze was solemn. There were so many alien races, and one of them was a 16th level true emperor. Lu Ming was obviously not their match. Boom! Lu Ming knocked back a 14th stage fighter with a single spear strike. Then, his figure charged forward with extreme speed. At the same time, the fallen star bow appeared in his hand. Wong! Lu Ming pulled the fallen star bow and 9 colored arrows flew out, aiming at a level 15 true emperor of a foreign race. Bang! The outsider was instantly killed in midair. Wong! Wong! Lu Ming drew his bow continuously. The bowstring vibrated and several arrows flew out. Each arrow could kill a member of the foreign race. Damn it! The outsiders who were lying in ambush couldn't sit still anymore. A few of them were even more terrifying. Charge out and kill this person. Howling, one of the outsider chieftains charged out in attack. This time, more than 200 outsiders charged out from the mountains. Each of them had the combat strength of a 10th order true emperor. The strongest among them had the combat strength of a 17th order true emperor. So many. Lu Ming's expression changed. Hundreds of outsiders with the combat strength of a 10th order true emperor couldn't be a coincidence. They had been lying in ambush for a long time. Even though Lu Ming didn't know what was going on, he knew that he was unlucky to have walked into an ambush. Hundreds of foreign clans, all of whom were at least at the 10th level true emperor realm, charged toward Lu Ming from all directions, causing the entire void to shake. It was as though there were tens of thousands of soldiers and horses. Kill him! One of the outsiders shouted. He had the appearance of a human with purple hair. He was a member of the royal race. Whoosh! Whoosh! Several rays of destructive light shot out, causing the space around them to tremble. A stone sword appeared in Lu Ming's hand. At the same time, the Heavenly Emperor's body appeared and floated in front of Lu Ming. Lu Ming took a step forward and merged with the Heavenly Emperor's body. In the face of so many powerful figures from foreign tribes, Lu Ming was no match for them at all. He might be drowned in the attacks of so many foreign tribes in an instant and be blown up by so many attacks. He could only use the Heavenly Emperor's body. Whoosh! Controlling the Heavenly Emperor's body, Lu Ming slashed out with his sword. A beam of sword chi shot out, piercing through the clouds and slicing through the attacks of the outsiders, heading straight for a group of outsiders. Several outsiders with the combat strength of a 10th Order True Emperor were cleaved in half by the sword chi and died on the spot. At this time, a group of people appeared not far from where they were. They were experts from the Lan and Yin families. There were dozens of them in total, and there was no lack of true emperors among them. The experts from the Lan and Yin families were naturally looking for the entrance to the lesser world. They saw the boundless sword chi from afar. There are experts fighting up ahead. What terrifying power! Be careful. An expert from the Lan family whispered. They immediately retracted their auras and flew forward carefully. They landed on a mountain peak and looked ahead. They saw Lu Ming controlling the Heavenly Emperor's body to fight against the outsiders. Of course, they didn't recognize Lu Ming because he had merged with the Heavenly Emperor's body. They were almost scared to death when they saw so many outsiders. There are strange spatial fluctuations up ahead. Is the entrance to the lesser world here? Could it be that these foreign races are lying in ambush here, trying to kill the experts of the Heaven Realm? The Lan and Yin families easily thought of the key point. Their faces turned pale at the thought of it. They knew that someone had broken in first. Otherwise, they would be finished. Who is that giant stone man? It's so strong. It should be a puppet. The experts from the Lan and Yin families whispered among themselves. At this time, Lu Ming killed a few more outsiders. This enraged the outsiders. Attack together! Attack together! The outsider royal roared. All the outsiders attacked. Hundreds of attacks were directed at Lu Ming. So many attacks were unleashed by 10th Order True Emperors and above. Ordinary emperors wouldn't dare to take them head-on and would only be able to dodge. However, the Heavenly Emperor's body was made of stone and was extremely tough. Even emperors couldn't penetrate it, let alone true emperors. Lu Ming ignored the attacks and charged at the outsiders with the Heavenly Emperor's sword. Kill. Chapter 2287. Lu Ming killed 3 members of the foreign race with one stroke of his sword. Thereafter, his combat sword slashed horizontally, killing another 2 members of the foreign race. The attacks of the hundreds of foreign races landed on the Heaven Emperor's body, causing a series of explosions. However, the Heaven Emperor's body was completely fine. On the other hand, Lu Ming's combat sword did not stop slashing. A gigantic sword ray the size of a mountain swept across the sky with shocking power. Over the years, Lu Ming would occasionally take the time to fuse the energy crystals he obtained from the outsiders into Heaven Emperor's body. Heaven Emperor's body was close to 30% of its energy. Boom, boom, boom. Under the pressure of the gigantic sword ray, the outsiders exploded and died on the spot. In a few breaths, dozens of outsiders were killed. No matter how strong they were, they couldn't stop one of Lu Ming's moves. Close to 30% of the Celestial Emperor's physical body's energy erupted. Even an ordinary 1-star Great Emperor would be in danger and could be killed by Lu Ming, let alone a true emperor. 18 true emperors were only equivalent to true emperors. Even the strongest 18th-level true emperor would only be a peak true emperor. They would be instantly killed by a great emperor. Therefore, no matter what level one's combat level was, when faced with Lu Ming, there was only one outcome, and that was to be killed instantly. No one was his match. Kill! Lu Ming shouted. He was like a tiger in a flock of sheep. His sword slashed out non-stop, taking the lives of several outsiders with each slash. In less than a minute, more than 100 of the 200 outsiders died under Lu Ming's sword. Run, run! The remaining outsiders finally began to panic. Howling in terror, they turned and fled. Kill! Lu Ming had his eyes on the outsider royal. The number of outsiders was pitifully small, but each of them was shockingly talented. Once they reached adulthood, they would have terrifying battle prowess. The geniuses among them were even more terrifying. Since he saw them, he couldn't let them go. Lu Ming chased after that member of the foreign clan. Stop him! A look of terror appeared on the outsider's face as he ran for his life, ordering the other outsiders to stop Lu Ming. Among the outsiders, the hierarchy was extremely strict. The status of royalty was very precious. The ordinary people of the evil god race, as well as the nobles, had to listen to the royalty unconditionally. In the face of danger, they had to stand in front of the royal family unconditionally. Otherwise, there would be a great disaster. At this point, even though the rest of the strange humans were terrified, they still charged towards Lu Ming. Among them, there was no lack of 17th-level true emperors. Kill. Lu Ming showed no mercy at all as he charged forward, slashing out with his battle sword and slaughtering outsiders one by one. One of them was a 17th-level true emperor. A 17th-level true emperor was the pinnacle of the battlefield. Most of them were at the peak of the true emperor realm, preparing to break through to the Grand Emperor realm. Lu Ming was invincible among the true emperors when he controlled the celestial emperor's physical body. Lu Ming rushed past them and killed dozens of true emperors before dashing toward the royal member of the foreign race. The outsider screamed in terror as the sword slashed down, but he was still cut in half. Run. The other outsiders scattered in all directions. Lu Ming stopped and didn't continue the chase. The intense battle just now had consumed a lot of energy from his physical body. These outsiders were all at the 10th Order True Emperor realm. It seemed easy for Lu Ming to kill them, but it took a lot of energy. After killing more than 100 of them, the energy in Heaven Emperor's body was almost depleted. Killing so many true emperors wasn't as easy as fighting a 1-star Great Emperor. At this point, the energy in Heaven Emperor's body was almost depleted. After the alien race fled far away, Lu Ming appeared and put away the Celestial Emperor's body. Looks like there's an entrance to a minor world here. These outsiders must be here to ambush the inhabitants of the celestial world. Lu Ming thought about it and guessed what the outsiders were planning. At this time, the Lan and Yin clan's eyes widened in shock. Lu Ming, it's that Lu Ming. It's him. He has such a terrifying puppet. The Lan and Yin clan's faces turned pale. They were ordered to kill Lu Ming if they had the chance in the true emperor battlefield. However, Lu Ming actually had such a powerful puppet. This made them shudder. If they were to attack Lu Ming, they would only have a dead end. No, there must be conditions to control such a powerful puppet. It can't be that easy. He didn't chase after the outsiders when they escaped. That doesn't seem like him. Could it be that the puppet can't be used anymore? Controlling the puppet requires energy, and it can be used up. The Lan and Yin clans discussed in secret. Some of them had lived for hundreds of thousands of years, some even millions of years. They were all old foxes and had a rough idea of what was going on. Their eyes lit up, filled with cold, murderous intent. This was an excellent opportunity. If Lu Ming's puppet couldn't be controlled, it would be best to kill Lu Ming. Fight. The experts of the Lan and Yin families had resolute looks in their eyes. Their superiors had ordered them to find a chance to kill Lu Ming and take the indestructible ancient scripture from Lu Ming's soul. If they could accomplish this task, they would be rewarded handsomely. Now that there was no one from the celestial world around and Lu Ming's puppet couldn't be used, it was the best time to strike. Kill Lu Ming. The leading powerhouse of the Lan family transmitted a message to everyone and then rushed out. The others also rushed out after him. Beams of rainbow lights dashed toward Lu Ming at high speed. Lu Ming was about to head toward the small world when he suddenly saw dozens of people flying toward him. He could not help but be stunned. He didn't recognize that they were from the Lan and Yin clans. The Lan and Yin clans didn't have any special symbols, and these people were all true emperors. Lu Ming had never seen them before. He thought that they were just ordinary people from the celestial world. Are these people also here for the small world? Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. Whoosh! Whoosh! The Lan and Yin clans stopped not far from Lu Ming and didn't attack immediately. They were still wary of Lu Ming's methods. You are Lu Ming? The leader of the Lan family pretended that he had just recognized Lu Ming and asked with a surprised expression. That's me. May I know why you are here? Lu Ming asked. My name is Zhua Jian. The Lan clan's leader smiled and walked towards Lu Ming. Recently, there has been a rumor about a small world floating in the eternal void that is connected to the true emperor battlefield. Many people have come, Brother Lu. You must be here for this small world. Chapter 2288. It really is a small world. Lu Ming's heart stirred, but his expression did not change. That's right. I'm also here for the small world. The leader of the Lan clan glanced at the alien corpses and said, "So many alien corpses, did Brother Lu kill them all?" He pretended not to see the corpses because he wanted to test Lu Ming. "No, I just got here too," Lu Ming said. "Oh, could it be that someone has already entered the small world before us? Let's go in then." The leader of the Lan clan pretended to be shocked and moved closer to Lu Ming. At this moment, a terrifying ray of light burst forth from the hands of the leader of the Lan family and charged toward Lu Ming. The two were very close to each other. If Lu Ming wasn't prepared, he wouldn't be able to dodge it. However, just as the leader of the Lan family attacked, the six-feathered wings suddenly appeared on Lu Ming's back. In a flash, Lu Ming's figure flew away at high speed, avoiding the other party's attack. The expression of the leader of the Lan family changed. His face darkened as he stared at Lu Ming. "How did you find out? You're good at disguising yourself, but the others aren't as good. Did you think I wouldn't notice when someone tried to kill me? Who are you?" Lu Ming's expression darkened. If not for his extremely sharp spiritual sense and the strong murderous intent of some people from the Lan family and the Yin family, Lu Ming would have sensed it despite their best efforts to conceal it. Hence, he would have been on guard. "So what if you found out? You're still going to die today. Attack!" The leader of the Lan family hollered. He no longer held back and unleashed his full power. He charged toward Lu Ming, displaying his terrifying combat power. 17th level of True Emperor. Lu Ming's expression changed. Lu Ming might have reached the 14th level of True Emperor, but he was still far from being a match for a 17th level True Emperor. Moreover, there were others. The other members of the Lan clan and Yin clan attacked as well. Each of them had the strength of a 10th order True Emperor. If the Heavenly Emperor's body was still around, these people wouldn't be a threat at all. However, Lu Ming was no match for them now. Lu Ming used his six-feathered wings and retreated to avoid the attacks. At the same time, the fallen star bow appeared in his hand. "Where do you think you're going?" Attacks tore through the void and flew towards Lu Ming. "You're from the Lan clan and Yin clan?" Lu Ming shouted. As soon as the other party made a move, he could not hide his unique skills at all. Lu Ming recognized him. As he had a feud with the Lan family and the Yin family, Lu Ming had specially studied the ancient scriptures and magical skills of these two families. Therefore, he could recognize them at one glance. Kill. The Lan clan and Yin clan's members were filled Lu Ming. Buzz. As Lu Ming retreated, he pulled the fallen star bow. Whoosh. An arrow shot out, flying with extreme speed, tearing through the void like a star. An expert of the Lan family with a combat strength of a 15th level True Emperor was killed by Lu Ming. "Damn it!" The leader of the Lan family yelled and increased his speed to the maximum. It was as if he was shuttling through the void. He was as fast as Lu Ming's six-feathered divine wings. There was also someone from the Yin clan who had the strength of a 17th order True Emperor. He cooperated with the leader from the Lan clan and charged at Lu Ming from both sides. They quickly closed in on Lu Ming. Whoosh! Whoosh! Lu Ming drew his bow and shot two 9-colored arrows at the two level 17 True Emperors. However, the two level 17 True Emperors were too powerful and they managed to block the arrows. Only their bodies were affected. How can a 17th order True Emperor be so strong? Lu Ming's expression turned solemn. "Lu Ming, you're going to die today. Hand over the indestructible ancient scripture and your own scripture, and we'll give you a quick death," the leader of the Lan clan said coldly. However, at this moment, his expression changed. The others from the Lan clan and Yin clan were startled as well. Rainbow lights flashed in the distance. Someone was coming. The Lan family and the Yin family couldn't help but stop. There was a rule in heaven that forbade them from killing each other on the battlefield. If they violated this rule, even the Lan clan and Yin clan would be punished. The light receded, and a total of 6 people appeared not too far away. "Lu Ming," a voice sounded. "Senior Bai Tai." Lu Ming was surprised. He didn't expect Bai Tai to be one of them. Wasn't Bai Tai supposed to be at the periphery of the battlefield? Why was he at the core of the battlefield? Is it because of that small world? Lu Ming thought. "Everyone, what's going on?" Bai Tai looked at the Long clan and Yin clan. They seemed to have seen someone fighting from afar. Bai Tai and the others looked at the corpse of the alien race, and their expressions changed. Could it be that the Long clan and Yin clan were fighting with the alien race? The leader of the Long clan had a gloomy expression. Murderous intent flashed in his eyes. Attack, kill them all. The leader of the Long clan sent a message to the others. The others' expressions changed. If word got out that they killed their own people on the battlefield, the Long clan and Yin clan wouldn't be able to protect them. However, there was no one else present. They just had to silence them. Attack. The leader of the Long clan sent a message. Not good. Senior Bai Tai, run. At this moment, Lu Ming hollered. He could sense the murderous aura emanating from the Lan family. These people were actually audacious enough to want to kill Bai Tai and the others. Lu Ming roared and dashed toward Bai Tai at lightning speed. However, the 17th level True Emperor from the Yin clan was already attacking Bai Tai. At the same time, the leader of the Lan family charged toward Lu Ming and launched several attacks. Lu Ming could only try his best to dodge. Bai Tai was shocked. He didn't expect the Long clan and Yin clan to suddenly attack them. Bai Tai's battle prowess was only at the 7th order True Emperor realm. He was no match for Huang Xiaolong. His heart was pierced by Huang Xiaolong's attack and his body exploded. Senior Bai Tai. Lu Ming's eyes turned red. He was filled with murderous intent. He and Bai Tai had worked together to hunt the alien races for 2 years. They had fought dozens of battles and formed a deep friendship. Bai Tai and his ancestors had all died in the hands of the pagans. His biggest wish in his life was to hunt down the pagans. He had no other thoughts. At the same time, he knew that his talent was limited. When he was hunting foreign tribes, he would intentionally give Lu Ming more Heart of the World so that Lu Ming could improve faster. He was a respectable elder who had spent his life hunting the alien races. But now, he was killed by the greed of the Long clan and Yin clan. Lu Ming's heart was filled with murderous intent. He wanted nothing more than to kill everyone from the Long clan and Yin clan. Lan clan, you won't have a good death. The people who came with Bai Tai were also all killed. Lu Ming, no one can save you. Die. The leader of the Long clan continued to attack Lu Ming. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.